Curtis DeFrance, and we're here for our Monday Night Raw review for June 24th, 2019. This show was fucking garbage. Absolute fucking garbage. First and foremost, it has been mandated that WWE is trying to do everything they can to keep Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch's relationship on WWE's TV for the foreseeable future, which is the dumb idea. Quite honestly and truthfully, Edge and Lita's relationship was ruined because of WWE. Just exploiting their relationship. Same thing can happen to Becky or Seth. It could make them stronger, it could ruin their relationship. This is not necessary. The rest of their careers, if they, last together and they get married or whatnot, the rest of Seth and Becky's careers are going to be defined by their relationship. Not a good idea at all. Let's see. We had three champions in action tonight. We had the Revival and Daniel Bryan and Rowan going against the New Day and the Usos. The number one contenders to the Revival and Daniel Bryan and Rowan. That's what they said, their top competition, so that's what that was. Then we had Ricochet versus AJ Styles, which was announced late last night. All three champions lost tonight. Also tonight was the formal introduction, like it was last week, of this new etiquette that Vince McMahon has thrown down, that there is no more wrestling during commercial breaks. We saw a lot of matches that got restarted after a commercial break. We had the 8-man tag match, and the 8-man tag match was an elimination match. So expect to see elimination matches on every single show. And when it gets to the final two, we're going to restart the match as a tag team match or a one-on-one match, and that's what we got tonight. Ricochet and AJ Styles was the main event. There was 20 minutes left, and I'm like, how are we going to go without a commercial break for this entire match? And what happened? Anderson and Gallows come down. AJ Styles, they try to get involved. AJ's like, well, you're not going to ruin this match. So this match isn't going to continue until you guys leave. I want you to leave. And what happens? They leave, and Michael Cole's like, this match is going to restart after commercial break. Why? And another thing, it's elimination matches make no sense that, why they decided we're going to go and reset the match. Elimination matches do not end, and you do not reset a match when it comes down to a one-on-one or a standard tag team match just for the fucking hell of it. This entire thing is going to last maybe 2 weeks, and 2 more weeks, and they're going to drop it because it makes no fucking sense. They're going to run out of ideas how to make a match like AJ Styles versus Ricochet or the or the 8-man. I keep saying Fatal 4-way, but the 8-man tag team match go without a commercial break in between matches. I mean, Daniel Bryan and Rowan. The only title holders that I excuse from getting pinned was Daniel Bryan and Rowan, because in that match, the Revival, I think it was Scott Dawson, hit Daniel Bryan, looked like on purpose, because Daniel Bryan earlier did a suicide dive to the outside and took out Dash Wilder. So he got his revenge on Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan got pinned for the fact that happened. So I don't excuse them for getting beat, because they didn't get beat clean. They got beat because of shenanigans from somebody else. But the Revival got beat, and Ricochet got beat clean. They're champions. This is one of the big problems with WWE. They do not let their champions be strong. Kofi is about the only champion. Kofi is the only champion. I think Kofi Kingston is the only champion since WrestleMania, has not been pinned once. I'm pretty sure Kofi has not taken a pinfall since WrestleMania. Seth has. I'm pretty sure Becky has in a non-title match. And I know Daniel Bryan has as well when they just got beat. Revival got beat multiple times. Every other title holder has been beat at least once. Bayley, of course. Finn Balor hasn't been seen since Money in the Bank and the Super Showdown, if you want to count that, which I do not. So he doesn't count either. But no champion, and when Samoa Joe was champion, he got beat multiple times leading into Money in the Bank. Lost that championship, and gets it back because of an injury, gets it handed back to him by Rey Mysterio, and then loses it at Stomping Grounds. And here's the thing: Samoa Joe, after Kofi Kingston's match with Sami Zayn, came out and obliterated Kofi Kingston. I'm sorry, Kofi Kingston's match with Sami led to Kofi Kingston versus Kevin Owens, and then after that, Samoa Joe came out, brutalized him, which makes absolutely no sense. This show was poor booking. Nothing made sense. Champions losing again and again and again. Again, Daniel Bryan and Rowan, I just excused because they got fucked. They didn't lose because it was a clean victory. They lost or they got beat and pinned because the Revival screwed them over. So that one I excuse, which is fine. A champion should only lose if they're getting fucked over, or like a non-title match, if there's a screwy finish, or they get fucked over like the Revival did to Daniel Bryan and Rowan tonight. But Ricochet losing to AJ Styles made no sense. The Usos beating the Revival made no sense. There are better ways to have a champion win, or a championship challenger get to face a champion at the next pay-per-view, which of course is Ricochet versus AJ Styles and probably the Usos versus the Revival. There are better ways to do it than having the champion lose a non-title match. Of course, if this person beats the champion, they're going to find themselves to be number one contender. What is so hard about having a fatal four-way or a number one contenders tournament or something? Ricochet had to earn a shot at the United States Championship just last Monday. You did it right just a fucking week ago, and here you are tonight having Ricochet, Daniel Bryan, Rowan, and the Revival all losing by pinfall. What the fuck? Of course, the main event of Extreme Rules has been decided, and I called it. I fucking called it. So look at my Twitter page about, about an hour, 24 hours ago. I tweeted out, yay, Ricochet, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans with both titles on the line at Extreme Rules. Book it. Lo and behold, we start off Monday Night Raw with the new power couple, which are on both sides of my TV, Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. They come out, Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans set a trap, and basically set up a match for Extreme Rules, which, after Lacey Evans, here's the thing, Lacey Evans attacks Becky Lynch, they're brawling, but Seth Rollins doesn't go to pull Lacey off. He pulls Becky off, and Becky actually goes and shoves Seth Rollins like, don't get in my business. I'm gonna take care of this. Of course, the plan backfired. Becky Lynch made a challenge to them. Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans made a challenge to Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. Becky Lynch said, if you guys lose, then you get no other shots. This is it. Finito. This is done. You're not getting any more. They upped the stakes and said, yeah, fine, but both titles are going to be on the line. And of course, Seth Rollins, before he even knew what the stipulation was, said, you know what? It doesn't matter. I accept. So that is what we got going into Extreme Rules, and I fucking booked that last fucking night. It was not a surprise. Could have been better, but what do you expect? WWE with the terrible booking. Stomping Grounds should have been it for Lacey Evans. Stomping Grounds should have been it for Baron Corbin. Lacey Evans lost clean as a fucking whistle. She tapped out immediately. Like that. Immediately. Like that. She tapped out immediately last night. And she's getting another championship opportunity. So basically, Baron Corbin can win the Universal Championship with Lacey Evans beating Becky Lynch. Lacey Evans can win the Women's Championship by Baron Corbin beating Seth Rollins. There's only 3 ways this match goes at Extreme Rules. Obviously, it's probably going to be a no disqualification, no count out match, naturally. So, 3 things are going to happen. Lacey costs Corbin costs Lacey, or we have a new Raw Women's and Universal Champion coming out of Extreme Rules. I'm hoping it's for one of the other ones, but who knows? They're probably going to give the title, oh god, could you imagine Seth Rollins losing at Extreme Rules to Baron Corbin? Lacey Evans winning the Raw Women's Championship without having to do anything? Give me a fucking break. You can say 4 or 5 if you want to count Seth Rollins or Becky Lynch, but I don't think they're going to book Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch to fuck up like that. It would not surprise me if Baron Corbin, like Lacey Evans cost Baron Corbin the match and themselves the championships. I can see that happening, no problem. Again, terrible booking, and I called it last fucking night. I was hoping it would have been tonight without the titles being on the line, and Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans would have got beat. But no, we're going to do it at Extreme Rules with both championships, and that is probably how those two are going to win. Absolutely terrible booking. WWE just... And you had Samoa Joe attack. You had Samoa Joe attack Kofi Kingston. Why? This is what makes no sense about the attack on Kofi Kingston later in the night, other than the fact that Samoa Joe has looked like one of the weakest. He is the Bray Wyatt of before now, where he talks trash, talks a big game, but has no bite. That is Samoa Joe. Outside of Fastlane and winning the U.S. Championship, I believe a couple days before Fastlane or a week before Fastlane, Samoa Joe has been just booked like Bray Wyatt before Bray Wyatt went away. So where do we go from here? See, we had Samoa Joe attack Kofi Kingston later in this show. Kofi is a SmackDown star. Samoa Joe is a Raw star. Why didn't you have him attack Seth fucking Rollins? It would have made a little bit more sense. Oh, he's a Raw guy. He wants to go for the Raw Championship. He's going to attack Seth Rollins. There you go. Baron Corbin could go off and be constant, like they want to be constable again, while we get a legit challenger for Seth Rollins, if we could ever find a legit one, which there are no legit challengers on the roster because WWE hasn't booked anybody strong enough. Moving on here, we have an eight-man tag elimination, Daniel Bryan, Rowan, and the Revival versus the New Day and the Usos. This was an okay match, but the fact that they got the elimination of Daniel Bryan and Rowan. Then they forced the Revival to hit a Shadow Machine on Xavier Woods to pin Xavier Woods to get him out of the way. So Michael Cole could utter, "This match will restart after the break as a standard tag team match." They actually came back from commercial break and rang the bell again, as if the match was. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? This makes no sense. Back from break, the Usos double team Dawson on the floor. The bell rings as Jay hits a big crossbody on Dash. And I'm like, the bell rings means the match is over. What the hell is this? The bell rings, we gotta start it over again. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? This is stupid. This is the new rules for no wrestling during commercial breaks. I hope you enjoy them because they're going to be around for probably about 2 or 3 more weeks. 2 or 3 more weeks, and then they'll be gone again. Double team on Dash again. Jimmy with a close 2 count. Jimmy goes back up top. Dash jumps up and knocks Jay off the apron. Jimmy kicks Dash and works him over until Dash slams Jimmy into the mat for a close 2 count. Dash and Jimmy trade shots on the apron. Jimmy drops Dash with a headbutt. The Revival hit a big double team for the top rope, but Jimmy kicks out. Dawson argues with the referee. Dawson argues with the referee. My bad. Jimmy fights off Dawson and hits him with an enziguri. Jimmy goes to the top, but Dawson cuts him off with a right hand. Dawson climbs up, but Jay tags in. Dash goes up top on the opposite corner. They did not see Jay tag in. Dawson hits a superplex, but Jay is up on the other corner with Dash, and stopping him from doing what was probably going to be some kind of splash. Gets him hunched over, and Jay follows up from the opposite corner and hits an Uso splash off of Dash for the 1, 2, 3. Not a fan with how they booked this match, but the way that they had the Daniel Bryan and Rowan elimination, and then you had the Revival eliminate the New Day like that, and then you had the Usos, which I did not like the way the match was booked, but I can't be mad about that finish. That finish was actually very inventive because you had Dawson going with Jimmy for the superplex. He thought he was still a legal man. Dash is on the other corner. Jay goes up top, and off of Dash does a superfly splash onto Dawson for the 1, 2, 3. Definitely an interesting way to end the match, just not happy with the way they did it. After the match, Usos stand tall, music hits, and still to come, a piss break moment of the show, Bobby Lashley versus Braun Strowman in a tug-of-war contest. Somebody literally asked, what's the point of this? And I said, and I quote, because Vince McMahon thinks it's funny, that is why. That is the only reason this happened on this night. Vince McMahon finds it funny. That's all there is to it. The promo on Roman Reigns, Shane and Drew McIntyre's feud. The handicap match will take place later. Back when we see Miz walking backstage, and 24/7 champion R-Truth will be guest on Miz TV. While he's walking forward, from the side of him, I believe it's on this shoulder, we see Abby the Witch just hanging out, just popping out. There was no Firefly Funhouse. There was no new episode of Firefly Funhouse, so I believe those are done. However, it looks like we're getting a tease for Bray Wyatt to make his return because Abby showed up and Mercy showed up. We did not see Huskus the Pig Boy, Rambling Rabbit, or Vince McMahon with the devil ears, so horns. So either A, those will be on tomorrow night, or B, they're going to be doing that for the next few weeks. Who knows? But Bray Wyatt's Abby the Witch was here for this. After break, we see Braun Strowman earlier today pulling an 18-wheeler in the parking lot. He will face Bobby Lashley in the tug of war. Who cares? From break, and we see Miz mention how exciting the 24/7 chase has been. And I'm just going to say this right now. Maybe if you were 5, maybe 2 years old, not for me. Introduces his guest for the night, Carmella, and a very paranoid 24/7 champion, or joke, or truth. Truth checks under the ring, but Miz confirms that WWE officials have suspended the 24/7 rule during this segment. So, this is another problem with the 24/7 championship, is that they continue to do this stupid shit. It's like, oh, well, we need this. Back when the hardcore championship was a thing, they never, until Eric Bischoff came into power on Monday Night Raw in, 2002, they never suspended the 24/7 title rule. At least I don't believe they did, for any reason. If you had the hardcore championship when it was under the 24/7 title rules, you defended it 24/7. This shit is garbage. Talks about the recent 24/7 joke change and showed us the Truth captured the title from Drake Maverick at his wedding a few days ago. So we saw the wedding video last night, and then we see it tonight. Really? Let it go. Because really, in regards to the wedding title change, Truth goes on about how hard it is to keep the 47 hours. He says it's not a joke, man. It's been really hard, and it's like, wait a minute, you keep messing the fucking name up. I can't even remember what the hell he called it this time. Maverick finally shows up and comes walking the ring. He's disheveled and looks like he's had a rough weekend. Drake says Truth ruined the best moment of his life because winning the 24/7 joke was the best moment of his career, but this wedding was supposed to be the greatest moment in his life. I would not know because I'm not married. It goes on about his wife and how she won't talk to him, won't go to the honeymoon with him, and we haven't even consummated the marriage with him. Do we have to do this? I'm doubting that's true. What treatment from the fans, which, oh boy. Truth mistaken constipate with constipate and recommends fiber for Drake's problem. Fans chant constipation. Fuck you fans. I can't stand that shit. Drake challenges Truth to a rematch on Raw so he can win back the love of his life, not his wife, the title. Miz says, and he points to his ear, he goes, I'm receiving some information back now. Truth, if he accepts competitors from back will be banned. It will be Drake versus Truth. Fans chant yes. If Truth thinks it over and says, Hornswoggle, you got your rematch. Oh, why must he remind us of Hornswoggle? Please. I have no problem with Dylan. He's a good guy. I'm pretty sure. I never met Dylan before. Can we just leave Hornswoggle out of this? This calls for a referee, and we go to commercial break. We come back from break. This match was 60 seconds. Like 30 seconds. Not even that. Truth puts Drake in whatever, hits the move, wins the match, and that is that. All that for nothing. I hope you people are enjoying the 24/7 title because this is a fucking embarrassment. After the match, a group of superstars hit the ring and try to get the title from Truth. Truth evades both, runs back into the mix of wrestlers in the ring, but starts fighting superstars off. Cedric Alexander drops Truth, but Truth kicks out at 2. Noah Zay gets involved in the sequence. A big brawl breaks on the outside as Truth escapes through the crowd. Carmella with him. The chase continues as the distraught Drake is left in the ring. Charlie Caruso, which, by the way, Charlie Caruso has an interview with AJ Styles later in this thing, and she sounded like a total fucking bitch. They ask him where he goes next after his rough week. Drake doesn't speak. He slowly just leaves the ring and looks emotional as the fans sing, na 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 na. The fans in Washington do not like Drake Maverick for whatever reason. Because they were giving him the na 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 na, na 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 na, hey hey hey, goodbye. I don't know what Drake Maverick did to them, but they didn't like him at all. At all. Not a good, like, what were they at tonight? They were in the Everett. They were in Everett. Okay, they were in Everett, yeah. Everett, Washington did not like Drake Maverick, and I don't know why. By the way, they were, like, I know, they're in Washington State, which is, of course, where Daniel Bryan's from. In the match with the 8-man tag team match that he was in, Daniel Bryan was on a house of fire. We had yes kicks. We had everything that he did got a babyface reaction. The Revival with the big-time heel tactics with the screwing him over, they booed the shit out of him, and until they went to commercial break, we heard Daniel Bryan chants for the next 2 minutes or so as the Revival was eliminating Xavier Woods and Big E. Not too long after that, but we heard Daniel Bryan chants, and yeah. Great way to get heat on him because you eliminated a pretty much de facto babyface on your team. The Usos and the New Day were the heels of this match until Daniel Bryan got eliminated. Let's see here. Backstage, Roman Reigns walking back. We go to commercial break. Back from break, and we see the winner take all announcement for Extreme Rules. Early tonight, Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans are backstage, getting on the same page now. They both want the titles, and Corbin says they will maybe be the new power couple in WWE after the match is over. Corbin walks off as Lacey stares at him and just takes her a little, there's a, oh, I'm sweating. Who cares? Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. This was just them beating the hell out of Roman Reigns until The Undertaker. Yes. This feud has been so piss poor. What does WWE have to do? Yeah, Mark. We're having a problem with the Shane and Roman feud. Can you come to Raw on Monday? Yeah, can we have you be in Roman's corner and be in a tag team match of Extreme Rules? Good. Okay, see you Monday. Yeah, they called The Undertaker in for this piss poor feud. Why? It makes no fucking sense. Why the fuck would you bring Taker back just for other than a pop? Oh, it's gonna get people to come and see what happens next. Oh, really now? What is the very next thing that happens after this? Because The Undertaker, lights go off, lights come back on. He hits a chokeslam on Shane, big boot to Drew, unloads on Drew in the corner. His punches look so goddamn pathetic nowadays. Undertaker 5 years ago, his punches look so devastating I wouldn't want to take them. Now, I know it's because of his age and he's getting slower and older. They look like Shane McMahon punches, and that's not good. Take a clothesline Shane out of the ropes, and crowd goes wild as Taker stares down Drew and Shane, who are shocked at the ramp. Taker drops to one knee, cuts his throat, and the music hits. The lights go back down since he poses and stares up the ramp. Reigns looks on from the corner, still recovering. He continues to stare up the ramp. Undertaker does as we go to commercial break. It makes no fucking sense. What does The Undertaker have to do with this? He beat Shane McMahon 3 years ago in Hell in a Cell. There hasn't even been a hint. You haven't heard, Shane McMahon or Drew McIntyre talk shit on The Undertaker. Why is The Undertaker here? I don't fucking get it. Didn't get no promo from The Undertaker. I'm sure we'll get that next week. But it has been made official. Roman Reigns and The Undertaker versus Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. For what? Nothing. There was no reason for this match. And this is the only way because of how poor Stomping... Stomping Ground Tip Kicks were piss poor. They said... what was the number? 4,000? 4,500? Oh, this is not good. This is not good. We have to get somebody on there that people are going to buy tickets to see. Yeah. That is why Undertaker is here also. The booking is terrible. This makes no fucking sense. The only reason they're doing this is because I'm pretty sure the Extreme Rules is probably going to not sell out either. And they only sold 4,000 to 4,500 tickets. That is not good. Yeah, there were 6,000 people in the arena. Only 4,000 of the 4,000 to 4,500 were paid tickets. That's pathetic. Between 2,000 and 1,500 and 2,000 tickets was free. That's not good. And they don't want that for Extreme Rules, so what do? We get The Undertaker. The Undertaker, who doesn't need to be wrestling anymore. His piss poor match with Goldberg showed it. I mean, it is a tag team match, and Drew and Roman are going to do most of the work, but still, that's no excuse. I don't want to see The Undertaker anymore. This guy needs to retire. It's kind of funny because there's an interview about, 2019? About 10, 15 years ago, whatever it was, where The Undertaker had an interview, I believe it was the American Badass still, talked about how he didn't want to be one of those guys who kept doing this at age 50 and his legacy was destroyed. Taker, you sound like a big fucking hypocrite now because you keep doing this shit, and every single time you come out there, and every single time you look like shit, that legacy that you had as being one of the greatest creations of Vince McMahon's of all time gets chipped away at every single fucking time. Where you're gonna be kids today are not gonna look at what you did back in 1990, like 1990 to 2010, 2015, whatever. They're going to look at this old, sad, disheveled old man who just won't give it up. This is not good. The Undertaker is a shell of his former self, and he needs to retire. Yes, what is the very next thing that you bring? Oh, The Undertaker was on Raw. Let me go see what's going on. What the hell is this shit? They're doing a tug of war? Well, the NBA Awards are on. I'm going to see what's going on there. The NBA Awards had Shaq hosting. I wonder what was more entertaining, Shaq hosting the NBA Awards or Monday Night Raw. Shaq is a funny guy. Charles Barkley was probably there. Kenny Smith was probably there. EJ was probably there. Tony Johnson, EJ. So I'm going to say that was probably more entertaining than what you had here. Just saying. Boy. I didn't even give a fuck about this. This was one of those things where I went for a piss break. All I know is that Lashley sends Braun into the barrier, yells at his fans, boo him. Lashley raises his arm in the back of the ramp as music starts. Strowman recovers as he looks on. We're going to get a bull rope match, aren't we? We're going to get a Texas bull rope match, aren't we? This show is just fucking pathetic. Kofi Kingston versus Sami Zayn and Ricochet versus AJ Styles. Why is Kofi Kingston versus Sami Zayn happening again? Why is Ricochet versus AJ Styles happening at all? Nothing makes sense on this show. Nothing. John Caruso is backstage with AJ Styles, asking about his match. He with Ricochet, mentioning this in his first night back from injury. Before, he started talking about his injury and what it's like to be back. And Charlie Caruso was like, AJ, I'll ask you about your injury another time. And I'm like, whoa, Charlie sounds like a fucking bitch. Seriously, if they have the full interview up on WWE's YouTube page, go check that out because that entire line of her, she just cuts him off and is like, you know what? I don't care about your injury, what happened with your injury. I only care about what you have with tonight with Ricochet. Definitely total bitch move by Charlie Caruso. Not bad. We'll talk about ready to challenge Ricochet, but no way Jose's music picks interrupts, and he's like, Ricochet's an amazing guy. He keeps talking, but then he looks over and he's like, you gotta be kidding me. We pan over as AJ walks as well. And there's Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows as part of the line. AJ reminds them they have a match with the Viking Raiders tonight and says he's been trying to talk Anderson and Gallows, but Anderson insists they're at the top of their game. Reminds them they lost the match last week and wants to know what Anderson and Gallows he met in Japan were. Where are the Anderson and Gallows who were the Raw Tag Team Champions? What happened to them? Carl asks what happened to AJ. There's more attention, but Gallows says they're headed to the ring to prove the AJ Styles. And then I don't know where they're going with this. Again, they did show up later in the night to, try and interfere in AJ Styles' match in the main event. So, I don't know if this is going... I thought we were going to have, AJ Styles and Ricochet versus Anderson and Gallows. And then AJ turns on Ricochet, and that's how... That would have been a way to set up a match for Extreme Rules. AJ Styles turned... we had that tag team match. AJ Styles and Ricochet versus Anderson and Gallows. You have the match, it goes about, and then a few minutes left, AJ turns on Ricochet, and boom, you have a feud. Having Ricochet lose in the main event was a terrible idea. Viking Raiders versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. This match started off with Gallows working on the Viking Raiders, unloading in the corner, beats him up. Anderson tags in. They look strong at the beginning, but unfortunately they decided, Anderson decided, I'm going to do my two, so I'm going to go like this with too sweet. I'm going to just go. And then, of course, it got them in trouble. And the Viking Raiders win again. Viking Raiders hit the Thor's hammer. I'm not saying the Viking, you know what, as the finisher. It's Thor's hammer. Much better. For the pin and the win, the Viking Raiders win. After the match, the Viking Raiders stand tall in the ring as the music hits. A frustrated Gallows and Anderson look on from the ramp. Back from break, we have Nikki Cross apologizing to Alexa Bliss for her loss at Stomping Ground. She takes the blame for it. Bliss says Cross can use that for motivation. Bliss says Bayley does know how to manipulate people and crush their dreams. Alexa. Ooh, that hurt. Cross says there has to come some kind of way to get a rematch. Bliss says they have to think of a good plan, and Bliss apparently sends Cross away so she can think of the plan. I don't know. We come back from break and we're out. They show us out in the crowd, but we pan up to the Titantron, which I'm surprised even has video on it because apparently Kevin Dunn and Vince McMahon doesn't show matches on the Titantron anymore because they think it causes a distraction. Back from break, and Naomi and Natalya approach Nikki Cross backstage and they warn her as the new person on Raw to not get mixed up with someone like Alexa Bliss. Yeah, true. They're trying to look out for her because they dealt with Bliss before. Cross says she knows Bliss' reputation, and Bliss walks in and catches them downing her. They have words, and she's like, looks at Nikki and is like, last night it was us against the world, and now you're in here talking down on, and yeah, that's not how that was going. They have words, and Naomi tells Natalya to just let Cross find out on her own. Naomi says she's going to give the globe to Bliss tonight. Back from break in the arena, and 24/7 champion is being chased to the ring by superstars. Kalisto leaps out of the ring and takes a group of superstars to the floor. Mojo Rawley and Heath Slater were trying to have a match when early in the night, Heath Slater was going to go back into McMahon's office, or the McMahon family office. It was on YouTube, it was on Twitter, and Mojo Rawley came up to him, and of course Heath Slater challenged him to a match, and this is where this went to. Heath Slater, who was supposed to have a singles match with Mojo, drops Truth with a neckbreaker and covers him to win the title. After the bell, EC3, Eric Young, and Titus O'Neil among those on go for Slater's title. Truth ends up pinning Slater and taking the title back, making him an 8-time champion. After the bell, Cedric Alexander flies in, and I'm like, don't do it, Cedric, don't do it, you're better than this. He hits the lumbar check and wins the title, so Cedric Alexander's first championship off of 205 Live is the 24/7 championship. And did he hold it for a day? No, he did not. As no as Jose, EC3 and Mojo Rawley are among those going for the title. EC3 drops Cedric on the floor, face first, and then covers the pin for the win and gets the championship. So EC3 wins a championship. The first championship that EC3 wins in all of WWE, he didn't win anything in NXT, is the 24/7 title joke. If I'm EC3, I'm not signing a new contract. I'm out of here when my contract's up, whatever the fuck that is. He celebrates up the ramp, but Carmella comes from behind and snatches the title from his hand, distracting him. R-Truth takes advantage and comes from behind, rolling EC3 up for the pin and to take the title back, making him a 9-time champion. So let's review. Truth was the champion, then Heath Slater, R-Truth, Cedric Alexander, Cedric Alexander, EC3, and R-Truth. The joke changes hands 5 times. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassingly bad. I can't stand to watch this shit. After the bell, Truth and Carmella run off through the back. EC3 is sitting there looking devastated. A group of superstars run by, chasing Truth through the back. EC steals from Ricochet's United States title win over Samoa Joe at Stomping Grounds. Ricochet's backstage with Sarah Shriver. Ricochet says this feeling he doesn't want to go away and he's willing to do whatever it takes to make that happen. And says he looks up to AJ Styles his whole life, but tonight he will prove he's worthy enough to hold the title. And after the events that happened at the end of the show, obviously that is not the case. We see champion Kofi Kingston backstage warming up, back to commercials, and out comes it's Kofi Kingston versus Sami Zayn. I believe this was the longest match before with no commercial break and nothing like afterwards. But in the end, let's see what we got here. We had a bunch of banter between them. You had a quick moment of the Kevin Owens Sami show. Can we start with the talk shows, please? They ask stupid questions. I don't give a fuck about them. Kofi questions about a zit Owens has on his head. Not funny. And the match is underway after we come back from another commercial break. Referee, for the first few minutes, and Sami unloads in the corner, and the referee backs him off. Sami keeps control in the corner. Kofi finally mounts and gets a big pop for the comeback. Kofi hits the boom drop for another pop. Sami avoids the trouble in paradise and rolls Kofi up for a 2 count. Kofi comes off the second rope with a drop kick to turn it back. Sami goes to the floor for a breather. Owens ends up getting a cheap shot on Kofi at ringside as Sami has the referee distracted. Sami keeps control and brings Kofi back in, stopping to high-five and celebrate with Owens. Fans try to rally Kofi as Sami gets him grounded in the middle of the ring. A loud Kofi chant breaks out, but Sami drops Kofi again to stop the rally. Sami whips Kofi into the rope, but Kofi comes back with the right hand to drop in. Fans rally Kofi again. Kofi unloads with his right hand. Sami kicks him in the gut, drops him with a punch. Sami charges, but Kofi comes off the ropes and decks him. Sami catches Kofi in the corner and launches him overhead into the turnbuckle. Kofi lands hard, and Sami goes for another 2. Sami takes Kofi to the top as they continue landing strikes. Kofi knocks Sami to the mat. Kofi leaps out, lands on his feet. Sami nails a Michinoku driver. I can't get my words right. In the middle of the ring for a close 2 count. Sami can't believe it. Kofi kicks out. Kofi comes back and goes down in the middle of the ring. Now Owens looks on. Sami sends Kofi into the apron. Remember, this is without a commercial break too. Hits the springboard back in. Sami catches Kofi in midair with a kick to the face. Sami covers for a close 2 count. Kofi counters a move and unloads with shots to the head. Kofi slides down, moves into the corner, and rolls Sami up for the pin in the win out of nowhere for the 1-2-3. This match had to have gone at least 5 to 10 minutes without a commercial break. I am really shocked that they did not have. Well, you got to think they had a commercial break, had these stupid promos between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and then Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Kofi, and then they had another commercial break, so I guess they had a little bit of time to have this match. And after the match, Kofi hands up the ramp with the title in his air as his music hits. Kofi is all smiles and as angry Sami Zayn looks on for the ring. Owens takes the mic and talks trash to Kofi and challenges Kofi to come back to the ring for a match with him. Kofi accepts, and honestly, I'm going to have to say this. Michael Cole was right. Kofi had nothing to prove. Why the hell is he doing this? They get ready to start the match as we go to commercial break. We come back from break and there's a non-title match with Kevin Owens. Immediately nails a super kick, drops Kofi. Owens goes to the top for a frog splash, but Kofi gets his knees up and lands hard. This ends by count out after they continue going on it for a minute. Kofi nails an SOS on the steel ramp. The ref counts Owens and Owens is laid out. What was the point of this other match? I don't understand why we even had this match. It's just them wasting time. Let's see. And by the way, the wild card rule out the window. You had Roman, you had Kevin Owens, you had Daniel Bryan, Rowan, Xavier Woods, Big E. That's 7. And that's 7. I don't want to hear, oh, but the tag teams, they count as 1. Fuck that. That was never stated by Vince McMahon on that night. He said, at the end of the night, it was 4 from Raw can go from Raw to SmackDown and SmackDown to Raw. There's no fucking reason that I'm seeing 7 superstars, at least 7 superstars, on Raw from SmackDown. No doubt, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. As Kofi is celebrating, Joe suddenly runs down out of nowhere and runs over Kofi from behind. Joe works over Kofi and catapults him into the LED board on the stage. Joe with a big Uranagi on the steel now. Refs try to get Joe back off Kofi as he's laid out. Kofi struggles to breathe as he is helped up to his feet. Joe comes back over and applies the Coquina clutch, bringing Kofi back down. With the hold, things are finally broken up as we get more replays. Kofi is laying face down in rough shade as fans chant for him as we go to commercial break. Again, this makes no fucking sense. He is a Raw star. Kofi is a SmackDown star. Yes, Dolph is a Raw star too. Just, hey, if you want to say the brand split is no more, then fine. The brand split is no fucking more. Just say that. There is no goddamn reason to have Alexa Bliss versus Bayley, Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston, Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns, and now fucking Kofi Kingston versus Samoa Joe. And we're going to forget all about Samoa Joe. I guess Samoa Joe really didn't care about being United States champion because he's not out here bitching, complaining about losing the title. He's on to the next one. And then you had some fucking dumbass being like, oh, Samoa Joe elevated the mid-card division because he did the job for Ricochet. Are you kidding me? Samoa Joe has not been a credible champion since WrestleMania. He lost lost single matches, got fucked over in a match at Money in the Bank where he lost because of a broken nose and his shoulder being up. And then 2 weeks later is handed back the championship with no tournament, no fighting, no nothing. Why? How is he even worthy of a WWE championship opportunity? You tell me that, because I don't fucking know. Naomi versus Alexa Bliss. This match didn't last very long as Bliss drops Naomi on her head with a DDT, gets the win. After the match, Bliss attacks Naomi and asks Cross to come in. She holds Naomi while Cross readies. She is very conflicted. Nikki Cross is very conflicted. She doesn't want to do this, but she ends up shoving Bliss. She shoves Naomi and is also covering Bliss to hit the mat. Bliss looks confused. Natalya runs down, but Cross and Bliss retreat to the floor, and she stands tall as we go to commercial break. What do you think we're getting? We're getting a random tag team match because that's still fucking happening. Naomi and Natalya versus Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. The story of this match is that Nikki Cross practically did everything towards the end of this match, but Alexa Bliss got the pinfall. That's all there is to this match. This match did nothing. Cross goes wild, hits a crossbody on Natalya. She gets hyped again, but Natalya rams her into the corner. Seeing Bliss tagged in. Bliss doesn't come in, but Cross hits a neck breaker. Bliss on Natalya, and she does her purge. She hits the purge, really. Natalya out of the corner. Bliss then comes in through the ropes, makes the cover 1, 2, 3, and Bliss and Nikki Cross win. After the match, Bliss music hits as they stand tall. Naomi and Natalya leave as Cross and Bliss celebrate as Nikki Cross is confused, like, what the hell just happened? The sowing seeds that eventually we're going to get Nikki Cross versus Alexa Bliss either at Extreme Rules or at SummerSlam. It's just going to happen. I'd rather them to win the tag team titles to get them off the idiotics, but whatever. AJ Styles versus Ricochet is the main event of this show, this terribly booked show. And out comes AJ Styles, and out comes Ricochet. We have about a 2-minute match. They face off and stare down. We see Luke Gallows and Carlos Anderson rock down the ramp, they look pissed. That's all I'm going to say. They look pissed. AJ has words with them as they try to get involved, asking for them, what are they doing? AJ takes the mic and gets in their face and says he's not going to let them ruin this match, so it won't continue until they're gone. AJ wants them gone and asks them to leave. AJ watches Anderson and Gallows walk off. And we go to break as Michael Cole says, this match will restart when we come back from commercial break. And I'm like, how many times can they do this before it gets old? Somebody tell me that. How many times can they do this before it gets old? This is going to get old very fast. Look at the third hour. When the 24/7 championship was introduced, they dimmed the lights. They made the graphics, instead of red, they were black. Or red and white, they were black and red. It was supposed to be gritty and unpredictable. Gone within 2 weeks. This cannot last for much longer. Can't keep doing this and it's going to get old very, very fast. Let's just ruin elimination matches and 2 out of 3 fall matches, why don't you? Just drive and grind them into the fucking down our throats until we get tired of them. And that's going to happen. After break and they lock up and trade holds. This was a pretty decent match. I really would like to see these guys get a U.S. Championship match, give them about 20 minutes. They had about 11 minutes left of the show. This match went about 10 after they came back. Let's see here. Fans chant, this is awesome. It wasn't an awesome match. It was a good match. I'd love to see these guys get more. They get up and trade some strikes in the middle of the ring. Ricochet drops AJ and follows up with a Hurricane Rana into the mat. Ricochet with more offense and a clothesline off the top. Ricochet with a standing shooting star press, but AJ Styles kicks out at 2. And I believe it was Michael Cole or Corey Graves says when they did the replay of the standing shooting star press, it's like, your body's not supposed to be able to do this. And I'm like, this is not the first time Ricochet or anybody has done a standing shooting star press, so why do you sound so fucking stupid? AJ manages to hit the inverted DDT after it is blocked. He tried to do an inverted DDT off the second turnbuckle, but Ricochet moved. He ended up doing a tilt-a-whirl into that and hits it. Ricochet still kicks out. Ricochet misses a kick. AJ unloads with a strike in a big clothesline for another close pin attempt. Ricochet with more offense, including a moonsault. Ricochet shows frustration after being unable to pin AJ for once again. Ricochet goes up top for the 630, but AJ moves and he lands on his feet. AJ rocks Ricochet and springboards in with the phenomenal forearm for the 1-2-3. And AJ Styles pins the United States Champion one day after Ricochet wins the United States Championship. Do you not see a problem with that? Because I sure as hell do. After the match, AJ recovers and stands tall as his music hits. We go to replays. Ricochet looks on from the mat. AJ snatches the title from the referee, hands the title to Ricochet, and helps him up to his feet. Fans cheer as Ricochet has his hand raised. By AJ Styles, they have a hug, and that's how Raw goes off the air as Ricochet leaves the ring. They have so many superstars. You have Cedric Alexander, Cesaro, AJ Styles, The Miz. You could have those four guys. Fatal 4-way, elimination match if you want to do that. Or something. Have an 8x4-man tournament. Have AJ Styles versus The Miz and Cesaro versus Cedric Alexander. The winners of those two matches, which for me would be AJ and Cedric Alexander. Next week on Raw, the winner of that match would face Ricochet at Extreme Rules for the WWE United States Championship. You don't have to beat your champions. Champions should stay strong. NXT. Yes, Velveteen Dream got paid last Wednesday, but it was because of a fuck-up on his team. Champions don't lose on a constant in NXT. You know what also NXT doesn't have? And you know why I like watching Defiant Wrestling on every Sunday on YouTube? Because you don't see the same superstars in the same matches week in and week out. Ricochet did everything he did last night tonight, only against AJ Styles. It's going to get repetitive. It's going to get boring. You don't have to use... This 24/7 rule could just be thrown out the window. Get rid of it. Just ball it up and throw it away. You can have Cedric Alexander wrestle next week against somebody. Give Ricochet a day off. Give AJ Styles a day. Well, AJ Styles just returned, but you know what I mean. Nobody feels special because you're overexposing everybody. Everybody's overexposed. It's fucking stupid. 24/7 rule gives nobody a chance. You have the Viking Raiders, who I believe just a couple weeks ago, about a month ago, didn't they beat Hawkins and Ryder? Didn't get a tag team title opportunity. Now they're beating Jobbers, and now they're beating Anderson and Gallows in quite easy matches. And apparently, the Usos are the number one contenders for the Raw titles, and the New Day are the number one contenders to Rowan and Daniel Bryan. Now, on paper, I have no problem with those two matches. I mean, the Revival and the Usos, I was awesome the last time those two met up. This time, it's going to be for the tag team titles. And with the fact that Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin are going to be going up against Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch in the main event of Extreme Rules, that frees up at least one match, so there is no excuse for having the Intercontinental and the Raw tag team titles on Extreme Rules. Those matches should be there. And with the fact that the Revival were pinned by, well, let's see. The Revival were pinned by the Usos, and New Day was pinned Daniel Bryan and Rowan, so that's going to set up those two matches for Extreme Rules. Nothing made sense on this thing. Poor booking. Desperation by calling in The Undertaker. This was not a good show. No Firefly Funhouse either, so I think those are coming to an end. Abby the Witch and Mercy the Buzzard. Mercy the Buzzard showed up because during Kofi Kingston, they showed Kofi Kingston backstage getting his plate of pancakes, which he needs to fucking drop. But in the background, you see Mercy just pop up. Just pops up, and Cole, Renee Young, and Corey Graves are not mentioning these guys, these puppets showing up, so the teasing, and only the audience who sees it are going to be like, whoa, damn, Bray Wyatt's coming back soon. And there was no new Firefly Funhouse, so I think that's done and over with. But we're going to go to probably next week or the week after that, Bray Wyatt will make his return. Or he'll make his return in Extreme Rules. And I don't know what the hell's going to happen after that, but we'll have to wait and see. So, again, not a good show. I'm disappointed with the fact that we're going the route that we are, with Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins' relationship being shoved down our throats. This shit is going to get old fast. Yes, Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella are married. They were married way before Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella were even showcased on WWE television as a couple. Let Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch have the relationship outside the ring. And here's the thing. Miz and Maryse look awesome, like look great together. They mesh together well. Becky Lynch, and Seth Rollins do not mesh well together yet. I don't know how long they've been dating. Maybe it's been about 2-3 months. We don't fucking know. We don't need to know. But let these guys go. They don't have like it just feels so like forced. Maurice and Miz as a couple don't feel forced. Daniel Bryan and Nick and Brie. I keep saying Nikki, but Brie don't feel forced. This feels forced. This feels like it's like, oh, this is our new power couple. We're gonna shove them down everyone's throats. You're gonna love them. We're just gonna give you Becky and Seth all the goddamn time. Damn it. No. Time to end this now. That is your Monday Night Raw review. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Follow me on Twitch and Twitter at The France Club, and I will see you guys tomorrow for SmackDown Live. Let me know what you think of this being on every single week, and I will see you guys again tomorrow.